So for my part of the project, I focused on modeling, texturing this truck, and then doing the basic infinite road that if you go off of it, you die mechanic. So first of all, I modeled this low poly retro style truck in Maya. I triangulated it for importing it later into other programs. But once I finished modeling the truck, I UV unwrapped it so that I could texture it later with it not being warped. So once I did that, I imported it into Blockbench, a low poly modeling software, in order to get the pixelated textures. If I turn on the grid, you can see it's pixels. So I really enjoyed using this program. It worked really well for the style we wanted to go for. And yeah, once I did that, I was able to import it into Unreal. If I start the game, the truck is there. It's not animated, as it was outside of the scope of what I wanted to do for this project, but the model is in Unreal. The next thing I did was create this blueprint of infinitely generating road. So how I did that was just this slice of road that gets repeated over and over with collision boxes on either side. Going into the event graph, those collision boxes, essentially if you run into them, it will show a game over screen and pause the game. For the infinitely generating road, how it works is it creates an event that essentially just spawns more and more slices of road, each time slightly rotating it so that it will twist and wind. The tutorial I originally used for this was based on tunnels, so I had to mess around some with the rotation to get it to work for road instead of a tunnel. For the losing mechanic, essentially what happens is it pulls up this game over screen. When you click restart, it will open the level and then set the input mode back to the game from the UI only mode. That happens when it pulls up the game over screen. If you quit, it will just quit the game. So how it looks in practice is you have this infinitely winding road. You can add extra terrain. I just did this for the sort of proof of concept, and it just goes on forever. And if I were to veer off the side, I get a game over. And every time you start, because it randomly rotates each segment, it is completely different. So that is pretty much all I did. Thanks.